Hello and welcome to another episode of Rovis Rants. Today we want to talk about Deshaun Watson and his continued legal troubles. Although he has been in front of a grand jury twice and they've refused to indict, he still faces 22 allegations of assault. We won't use the full word because of YouTube's community standards. But he still faces these 22 allegations. He actually had 24 allegations, but 22 have only decided to pursue him civilly. This week, on Tuesday, HBO is going to be putting on a special which is called Brian Gumbel will feature Deshaun Watson with Soledad O'Brien interviewing the accusers on HBO Real Sports. So they will have some of the accusers go on and talk about their story and what they've been through or what they allege has happened in their interaction with Deshaun Watson. He has recently signed a $230 million fully guaranteed contract with the Browns, which to me is absolutely shocking that an athlete with such allegations against him, again, not proven criminally at all, or not even going through that process, but still has civil actions against him, was able to command such a huge salary, fully guaranteed. Not heard of in the NFL, so it's very shocking. But, kudos to him and his agent for being able to do that. He's a great quarterback. He, is unfortunately going through some difficult times in the personal, off the field. Now, whether you believe these allegations or not, some people, with the Me Too movement are I believe, all accusers. I believe in justice. So for me, I need to hear all the facts and details before I make a judgment. I do find it very strange that 22 accusers all have the same lawyer. That just, I've never heard of that before, and maybe it does happen, but I've never heard of it. And that to me kind of feels not right. Deshaun, in his own statement, so I'll read it, says, "I've never assaulted or disrespected or harassed any woman in my life. I've never done these things to people I've never done these things to people are alleging." Before the start of last year's season, Deshaun had already requested a trade. He was not happy working for the Texans, and he didn't play all of last season. And then with the allegations coming up, there wasn't any movement that happened. I think some NFL teams are hesitant to see what will happen with the civil, because more than likely there is a good chance that he will be at some point suspended in this upcoming season. They're still investigating. The NFL has asked to meet with him again this week. After one of the therapists has come up and spoken and said that she was left crying and scared after her interaction with him. He then sent her a text, and the text reads, to quote him, "Sorry about you feeling uncomfortable. Never were the intentions. Let me know if you want to work in the future. My apologies." That was Deshaun's text back to the therapist. He obviously wasn't intentful to make her cry. She alleges that Deshaun purposely touched her with his private parts and caused her to feel scared and cry. Again, these are all allegations. Nothing's been proven. We'll see what happens. Her statement was made in a pre-deposition for the civil suits. Judge, I'm going to look up her name, Judge Sue Robinson, who was a former U.S. District Attorney, was appointed by the NFL and the Players Association to investigate the claims. They're hoping, although Goodell says there is no timeline for when the investigation will conclude, they're hoping to have some kind of conclusion by the summertime. So again, it's probably before the beginning of the next season, we'll know whether Deshaun will be suspended for these allegations. My understanding is the civil suit will be held on hold for this 2022-2023 season. And that was something that was agreed to by the two parties. And don't know if that's to try and work out some kind of a deal, although he says he will not settle because he wants to clear his name. He will not make a payout. So we'll see how that goes. However, it'll be interesting to see what the state of the investigation will be and what the viewers, the NFL fan base, the Browns fan base now will be once the HBO special comes out on Tuesday, where they do speak to the therapists who allege these kind of assaults. Now, whether you believe Deshaun or not, it's a very tricky situation because it's a he said, she said, and more than likely there is not video proof in a private massage therapy session as to who is telling the truth. We'll have to wait and see if there's any other proof, any other way to show, do their stories align? But even that, because they have the same lawyer, are they all getting together and creating a scenario of, well, he did this to me, oh, he did this to me, and then stories get combined? I mean, it's going to be very difficult. The fact for me that not one, but two grand juries in Texas refused to indict tells me that there's not enough evidence, and it is a he said, she said. So good luck to Deshaun. I hope that we're able to, the truth does come to the surface. As I've mentioned in another video, I'm very for justice. And whether that's for Deshaun or for the therapist, we'll just have to wait to see. So let's see what happens with this one. Tuesday, HBO special, the HBO Real Sports with Brian Gumbel is the show. And I'd like to hear some of your comments about what you think is actually happening. Is this some women trying to get a payout, as we've seen happen before with other athletes? Or is this an athlete who, stepped beyond the boundaries and is now going to pay for it? I guess we'll have to wait and see, but I'd love to hear your comments in the comment section. Please remember to subscribe and like. It feeds the algorithms. And we'll talk to you shortly.